Hello, welcome to the scr1tno knitting project. This is episode 81 and it is Friday the 5th of February 2021. Welcome if you're a new viewer, welcome back if you're a returning viewer. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is my little project all about my knitting and I think today it is all knitting. I don't think I've got anything else at all. This week will not be a normal episode in as far as I'm not on rotation at the moment because I've had a bit of a finishing party and I've not been well. So a bit on that right from the top. I have got a cold, I have got a virus. It is not the virus, I got tested, thankfully. We had a worrying couple of days. The rest of the girls are all fine. Thank you so much for their good wishes, for them. They're all fine. And Meg very happily had a very easy ride of it. Other than a few really bad headaches, she didn't do too badly. So hopefully we're all over that now. But I've just got the residual, which you can hear in my voice from time to time, it cracks. But I literally spent this week just working on what I wanted to work on, which meant I finished a few things and I've started a few things because I'm me. So I'm going to go straight into it and go straight into admin. So admin, we have two knit-alongs going on at the moment. We have the square a day KAL and we have the stripy sock KAL. The square a day KAL is for making something, doing a little bit every day to end up with a bigger project at the end. The idea is for that to be a blanket. I haven't got mine with me this week, confession time. I left it upstairs and I have such a small window to record this today. I'm not going up to get it, so you'll see my progress on it next week. So yeah, check-in for that is the end of March, so you theoretically have 90 squares by the end of March, the March check-in. Hope you're going really well with that. And then of course we kicked off the stripy sock KAL. So February, the indie dyer is Woolly Goodness and the commercial yarn is Opal. So if you use either of those two, you get extra entries. But you could knit stripy socks from anybody at all and any commercial at all. You just get one entry for those. They don't have to be started out and finished. Well, they have to be finished in February. They don't have to be started in February. So whips are totally allowed. I have cast on both. I have got a Woolly Goodness and I have got an Opal. I'm going to close the list of things to add now because it's quite a long list. So hopefully you can all work out things from that, because the ones towards the end are getting fuller and fuller because I have to, you know, like February I didn't add any extras too. So yes, I'm going to close the list for that now, unless you're absolutely desperate for me to put somebody in which case email me on scr1tno@outlook.com, which is the best way to contact me. On that note, Kate, I've got your email. I've had a bit of a week with not being well. I will get back to you. Right, shall we see some knitting? And I think this is going to be more of a traditional podcast because I've got FOs and I've got works in progress. I think I might do them that way because I think that might be the easiest way to do them. So my finished objects this week, I have got, first of all, I finished my stripy socks. So these are the Bells Are Ringing Out socks, colourway, sorry, not socks. These are the Bells Are Ringing Out colourway from Crafter's Bumbling Yarns. Which is the lovely Laura, and I loved this. I loved this colourway so much. There are two. I haven't washed and blocked them yet. They're just on the blockers to show you. I will wash and block them. And yeah, I'm really pleased with these. I love how that colour worked out. So I do mine on 60 stitches, and I did a 2x2 twisted rib. And I do mine on 2 circular needles, which I will show you more of later on. So that's that done. So that was my finished object, and yeah, these have been such a fun knit. And these will go in my box of Christmas socks when they're locked and done, and will go up until next year, next Christmas, and then I will wear them between December and Christmas. Now traditionally my Christmas socks that I knit I wear on Christmas Eve the following year, but I have got plans to knit more than one Christmas pair this year, so I might just put them all into a rotation. We'll see come December. That's a long way away now. So that's my first finished object. My second finished object came about because of tidying all this up. And I came across this little hat. This is a little baby hat, and it's the striped hat by Debbie Bliss. I don't know what yarn I did it in, but it's not baby cashmerino, which is what the pattern calls for. And it was completely finished, but the ends weren't woven in. So I've woven in the ends, and I'm going to block this and then put it in my let's keep this for when there is a baby. Yeah, it was just sitting there. I don't even remember knitting it. I mean, I do actually remember knitting the yarn, but I don't remember knitting a hat with the yarn. I thought I knitted socks with this, I'll be honest. In fact, I'm sure I knitted socks with this, so maybe this was just some leftovers. But I don't know what the yarn is, but it's very, very soft. It's perfect for a baby. It's such a cute little pattern. Got a little I-cord top there. That's what it looks like on the top. It's so sweet. So I'm counting that as a finished object because, you know, I finished it. So I'm going to wash and block this, and then that can go to the next baby that's born. And then I also finished my Showisha Scrap Mitts, which is a pattern by Laura of the Lonely Knitter, Crafter's Balm and Bumbling Yarns. And I used the... Did I say that was a pattern by her? Yeah, that's a pattern by Laura of the Lonely Knitter, Crafter's Balm and Bumbling Yarns. And I used my Advent from Giddy Yarns, the lovely Helen. And these are for my sister-in-law in Poland. Now, as much as I said I used the pattern, I forgot to actually pattern. So I've used Laura's stitch count, although there is an extra stripe in this bit here because I got carried away watching a film. Also, Helen's lovely way she dyed her Advent was sort of a speckled and a tonal, and I obviously got these round the wrong way. But in actual fact, I really like it. And what's left, I love these tonals together and I love the speckles together. So I'm thinking I'm going to make another pair, possibly a bit shorter this time. I know I said that last time, but possibly a bit shorter this time. And use the tonals for one pair and the speckles for the other. So I used, how many colours did I use in these? I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I used 13 colours in this, so I still have some that I haven't used. But I was really pleased. I'm really pleased with how this matched up as well. It's pretty spot on. So yeah, really pleased with how these have come out. And these are for my sister-in-law in Poland. So now I've got them finished, that is the first package I'm going to book and get away. Because that would be good. Because her birthday was the 17th of January. So I missed by quite a bit. So that's my little pile of finished objects, and I shall move on to what I've been working on this week. So it's been all about the socks this week, which is not surprising because I had 3 pairs I wanted to cast on for February. So the first one is living in this lovely little So Raimi bag, which I thought was nice and springy, and I felt like I wanted a spring bag, although having said that, it's supposed to snow here at the weekend, so there we go. And in here is my Opal socks. So this is what I'm using. It's an Opal Nightlife. It's debatable as to whether it's going to stripe. It's supposed to look like that, but I don't know whether mine's going to do that. And as I said before, if you do use an Opal and it doesn't behave, let me know, and just stick a picture of what it's supposed to look like next to the sock, because sometimes they don't. It's using a little needle cozy, also I think from So Raimi. Yes it is, luckily she has hers labelled, and I haven't, all I've done with this one is cast it on, and this is why I'm wondering whether this is actually going to stripe, because I'm getting kind of splodges, which I'm slightly concerned about. I also think I may have twisted my rib, but never mind. So these socks are for hubby, because he has really got into his knitted socks this year. So the idea is I'm going to try and do a commercial one each month for hubby. But this podcast may very well this year be all about the socks, because I've got 3 that I want to do each month. I'm fast, but that might be a struggle even for me. So it'll be socks and jumpers, I think, this year. Now, I had a question from the lovely Jean on Instagram, who, hopefully, Jean, I've messaged you back on Instagram. If not, she asked me what length needles I use for my 2 circulars. Now, this is my ideal length. And these, I believe these are 40 centimetres. Let me have a quick look and check. I have in my lovely little notions bag here, I have got a little owl who, if you pull his leg, is a tape measure. So let's give these a little bit of a measure. So from tip to tip, I think they're 60. No, so they're definitely 40. So yeah, so the 40 centimetre from tip to tip is my preferred length. They're long enough that it stays on and doesn't fall off, but they're short enough they don't dangle too far. I have got a longer pair in the rotation, which I'll show you what I mean about that. So I got totally interrupted out of what I was saying then, and it's probably about an hour later, so I have no idea. We'd measured these, hadn't we? And we were talking about, so I use 2.5mm licky needles. That is the length of my tips on there, but they are, as I said, 40 centimetres from tip to tip. And that is the yarn I'm using. I don't bother about skein it into a skein, I just dive straight in. So that's that sock whip, and as I said, these are for Ian. I think I kept with my normal 60, but I'm going to do 2x2 rib at the top and then 3x1 down the leg. I'm going to apologise if this is really disjointed. I've got a lot going on here today. Oh dear. Right, so next up I'm going to do this one. So this is my lovely bag that my lovely friend Kelly of Lay Family Yarn made me for Christmas, and she wove this herself and made the bag herself. So it's a really special bag for me. At some point I probably should make it my Kelly blanket bag, but just for now it's my Kelly knit along bag. And Kelly is doing a KALS podcast of interruptions. I think that's going to have to be the title today, isn't it? So the next thing I'm showing you is the socks for the Rainbow Chronicles sock along, which is being hosted by Kelly of Lay Family Yarn, who I'm very lucky to call a friend, and Jules of So Sweet Violet. Now I am using Kelly's yarn, which she's doing 10 lots of 10 gram minis, or 5 lots of 5 gram minis, 5 lots of 20 gram minis, not 5 lots of 5 gram minis, 5 lots of 20 gram minis, or entire sock skeins. And if you use her yarn or Jules's pattern, I think it is, you get an extra entry. And I think if you use her yarn and Jules's pattern together, you get 2 extra entries. I think that's right. Check her out. Check out the rules and regs in her podcast. So because this is a February deadline, I cracked on with these when I wasn't feeling very well, and also, to be fair, they cheered me up when I wasn't feeling very well. So I've done quite good progress on these for 4 days. So I'm knitting them concurrently. So I have got a second one, which is that one there. I'm doing 8 rows, I think. 8 rows of the minis. Don't count them because I'll be honest and say I wasn't well, so there's gonna, I mean, like for instance, I'm fairly certain there's 10 in that one. Oh, and I doubled my rib, which I never do a double rib, so I don't know what that was about. That wasn't helpful. So my leg looks short because my rib's so long, because I like my socks that length. So that was clever. And yeah, I've gone round the corner, so I'm going up the foot. I'm still decreasing for the gussets. And these are lovely stitch markers that the lovely Ali, who's Ali Cat, and a friend and a viewer of the podcast, gave me for Christmas, and I really loved them, but they were on, or they are on, lobster claws. So what I did was, the progress markers obviously are on the lobster claws, but the ones that I'm using for the gusset decreases, I just put on a little jump ring, so I've just literally clipped them to it, so I can use them as stitch markers too. So I use the full set. So there's those 3 on that one, and then there's those three on that one. I've got the 2 blues and the pink. I love them. They're so cute, these little cottons. So my lovely needle holders, that one is Sherry Iris and that one is Craft House Magic, and I'm doing them on 2 circulars. So they're both on 2 circulars. Now that's my normal size one, so that's a 40cm one. This is a 60cm one, so it is a little bit longer. If I show you them next to each other. Right, so yeah, it is that. If I put those tips together, you can see that, come here you, oh, you've got to be kidding me, they're the same length. Honestly, that can only happen to me. Right, so they're the same length and they are 40cm. Oh, this is just the podcast that is not going to go right, isn't it? I'm glad you like watching me. Right, so that my longer ones, I think, must be my other stripy socks that I'm going to show you in a minute. So they're both my 40cm ones, which are my favourite ones. And literally, as I'm saying this, I remember swapping them out so that they were both the same size, because I thought it would be more annoying to go between different sizes when you're knitting them concurrently than having them on a separate pair of socks. Oh dear. It's going so well, isn't it? But yeah, so that's how far I've got. I've done really well actually, but that has been all I've knit on for the last 4 days. So that's what I can do when I knit solely on a project. So that's that one. And as I said, that's living in my Kelly bag. That's the, I didn't think I'd done that many minis. There's a mini here that I haven't round up yet. So that's all the, oh, can you see in there? That's all the minis in the bottom of the bag. Oh, they're so pretty. So I've cracked on with those. I'd like to get them done so that they're definitely finished, because that has a deadline, because I can enter this KAL. I can't enter my own KAL, so I'm not so worried if I miss with those ones. Oh, I've left out my little notions case, a little notions case that matches, which is from Katie, our lovely moderator, made that for me. Okay, so now what's up? Let's do my stripy socks. For my stripy sock KAL, right, these are in yarn from lovely Jenny of Woolly Goodness, and it's her self-striping sock yarn. Oh, have I not got her label? Where's her label gone? Where has her label gone? Hold on, is it on my desk? No. Okay, I don't know where the label's gone. I had a nightmare trying to wind this yarn up the other night because it flew off my Swift, and I ended up with a great big tangle on the floor, but I've done it, and this is how it's caked up. It's so pretty. It's very spring light, which is lovely today because it's really sunny and very spring light out there. And my cherry tree is coming out in not blossom, but you can see some leaves, you can see the buds. So that's the yarn I'm using, and it's a pink, a blue and a green together, and this is how far I've got. It's so pretty. This is a really lovely colourway, really lovely colourway. Now Jenny has got some self-striping in her shop at the moment if you want to join in. It's obviously not too late, it's only the 5th of Feb today, so it will be the 7th when you see this. Now yeah, these are my longer ones, so as you can see these are much longer, so there is an awful lot more dangle, but having said that, it doesn't bother me because I've done it this way for so long now. Long dangles don't bother me, but it does mean you can use these for magic loop should you wish to change, but I don't magic loop unless I absolutely have to. But yeah, that's that pretty. So I've done just a 2x2 rib, and when I finish this pink section I'll go into the main body of the sock. So that's sock one. I'm not knitting these concurrently, but I may be knitting them exclusively because I love the colourway so much. So that's those, and that was living in my lovely Elderflower Stitches bag. There's her lovely label, there's her label. I've gone for the spring look. I think I'm fed up with winter. So I was like, do you know what? Everything's going to be spring-like. And I bought this from So Raimi, lovely Rachel, week before last, which is the little DPN cozy, which I think goes beautifully with this bag. And I'm really happy with this project. The whole aesthetic is very sweet and I love it. Sadly we're due to get snow here at the weekend, so spring's probably a little bit further away, although my snowdrops are budding, not budding, that, what do you call it when the leaves are coming through? Yeah, I'll get back to you on that one. I'm having a complete nightmare today, aren't I? But anyway, the leaves are poking through. Haven't got buds on them yet, but the leaves are out. They've poked through the ground. Right, so next up is living in my lovely robin bag from Busy Pottering. And this is my Christmas sock. That's the needle cozy I'm using for this one, which I believe is Craft House Magic. And I am doing a Gryffindor themed Christmas stock for my middle daughter. So I've done the leg, and I've turned the heel, and I'm now whizzing up the foot. So I have actually made some progress on this week. I'm using Drops Alaska, which is perfect for this project. It's toothy but soft. I think it's going to work really well. So what I did was I cast on my normal vanilla sock, and because this is an Aran weight, it's coming out lovely and chunky. I did a 2x2 twisted rib, and then about here where you can see there's a slight change, I swapped to a 2x2 normal rib. So when you turn it over, oh, I also turned it inside out. So I turned it inside out and then did 2x2 normal rib. So when you turn it over, you get a lovely cuff of twisted rib at the top. And somewhere in here, which I can never find, there is a hole. Because where I turned it, it made a hole. There, that's where it is. So where I turned it, it made a hole. And I'm going to put a, so on there, I'm going to put a hanger on that. So I'm going to put a either crochet chain or an I-cord, maybe an I-cord because I think that would be stronger, through there, so that's how you hang it. And then I did I should have done a jogless join. That's really annoying me that that's not jogless, but equally I think part of that is because I've pulled it so tight, the red stitch has disappeared. So I think I need to sort that out so the red stitch is in there. If not, I am going to just duplicate stitch over that, although I can't duplicate stitch very well, but I will just duplicate stitch over it. I've got the tail on the inside from the red, so I'll just duplicate stitch over it and then sew in my ends. So I can do that there. Just annoys me a bit that that's where it is. But yeah, it's going to be lovely. It's going to be lovely and big. Be able to get lots of bits in it. So yeah, I'm whizzing up the foot now, and then when I decide the foot's long enough, the idea with the foot is I'm going to do this pattern here, those two with the one in the middle, down the foot, and then I'm going to do a golden toe. And then I need to make another one of these because her other half, because Megan's other half is a Gryffindor, and Meg would really like one for him. So they have matching, although she's Slytherin, so hers will be silver and green. And during the tidy up of this little lot, I have found all the remaining yarn. So this is the great thing about this, is I'm making something we need because they're, especially Megan's Christmas stockings have kind of died a death over the years. And also because I've got them moving out as well, it'd be really nice to give them a handmade stocking to hang. So I'm replacing something I'm going to need to replace anyway, and I'm using stash, so it's a double whammy and I like that. So these have got really long dangly needles on them. They are rosewoods, and they're in the, I've literally just sorted these out. These are Paris collection ones, I think. Yeah, I think these are the Paris collection, and that is a rosewood. So yeah, I had great fun going through and putting all my needles back in my needle boxes, which I will show you at some point. I'll do a snippet and I'll do a tour of the craft room when it's done, because at the moment I keep putting things away and then moving it. Like for instance, this whole unit on this side that you can now see wasn't there last week. I decided I didn't have enough space just in that one, so we went out and bought a second one, well, second two in actual fact, because there's one up below it as well, because it's got these oh wow, it's right back there. These boxes. Ooh. Right, so that's that project. Oh, something's attacked my nose. I've got some fluff. I don't know why. I'm not using any. This is typical podcast. Part of the post-podcast clear-up, 9 times out of 10, is me putting patterns back in their bag and putting the needle DPN cozies back in the right bags. Right, so this is going to be the last knitting project I'm going to show you today, because this is the last thing I have worked on. I have made some really good progress on this. So this is the Hearten Cowl by Curious Handmade, which is from Knit Vent 2020. That's how it's going to look. So it's quite a long cowl. I'm not sure how I'm going to wear it yet until it arrives, until it's finished, but I'm sure I will. It's very beautiful. Now, it's living in this lovely bag from, lovely bucket, my sheepy bucket from Kelly, who gifted it to me as part of my birthday advent, and because we do a countdown to each other's birthdays, and all these are minis from her, so it's all filled with these minis. And the leftovers that I've got of the yarn that I'm using, I'm putting in my Kelly blanket, but at the moment I'm working my way through. I love this. I love this so much. It's turning into a rainbow. It's really, really pretty. This is the order of which Kelly has done the minis. Now this bit here is actually striping 2 yarns together, but oh wow, I so love this browny colour with this bluey colour and the pink in between and the speckles. Oh, I'd love that as a colourway. I really would love that as a colourway. It's so pretty. But yeah, so this is how far I've got. I'm transitioning from blue to green, it would appear at the moment, and I'm on colour 16. It's so pretty. I love this. I love working on this as well. So this has been really good, because 12 rows of it in between the pattern is just plain round and round stocking stitch. So this got a lot of love while I wasn't feeling very well. In the pattern I did muck up a couple of times because I shouldn't have been doing it when I wasn't well, but oh, it's so pretty. So I don't know if these are yarns that Kelly has dyed herself or they're just from her stash, but either way they're beautiful. I'm really pleased with it, and I'm going to put my leftovers into my Kelly blanket because they're from Kelly. I am using literally just Knit Pro Symphony wooden needles. Has the smoothest join of any symphonies that I've ever owned, which is kind of a bonus. It's on a 80cm cable because there's 300 stitches on here, so I'm kind of strangling the stitches, which is why it makes it quite difficult to show. And last week I was where the piece of cake is, so I was there. So yeah, that's how sick I've been. So between that's when I was, before I started on knitting on the socks, I was doing this. So I've done a lot of knitting this week and not a lot of mucks of anything else, if I'm honest. a lot of knitting and a lot of arranging of this, and the only bit of work I did completely stressed me out and made me sick, so I didn't do too much work in the end. But yeah, love this. I am looking forward to it being done. So that is it. That is the whole thing. I have nothing else to show you this week, except now I'm going to move into Happy Mail. Right, so Happy Mail. First of all, we have got another lovely prize come in, which is from the lovely So Can Joe, and it's a beautiful bag. So this is going in the sock cowl, stripy sock cowl, and it's going to be for March because it has this lovely hair on it, and it screamed March hare to me. So that's going in as a prize for the stripy sock cowl. Joe also sent a beautiful braid of fluff. Now I don't know if this is for me or whether it's for the prize, but it's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. It's from Crafty Lady, and I love her fluff. It's very pretty. And there is also a little tea and sweetie package in there as well. So that's beautiful, and thank you so much. The fluff. Thank you so much, Joe. That's not the fluff that's been getting up my nose, by the way. I don't know what it is. Something has. So yeah, thank you very much for that, Joe. I'm so excited to be giving these prizes away. I just need to sort out this postal stuff and I'm done. So that was that. Then the next things I've got are all clubs, so I will give you a fair warning to look away. This is a very worrying message from my camera that says there may be some corrupted data on my memory card. Let's hope that's not the podcast. Oh dear. So turns out I did have corrupted data on my podcast, so I need to do my Happy Mail section again. So the Happy Mail is clubs, so I'm going to re-record it, but oh, it is later in the day now and the sun's come round, so the colours are not going to be as good, which is really annoying. Oh. So you're going to have to bear with me on the whole colour thing. But Happy Mail this week are all clubs. First of all, the lovely Laura, who is the Lonely Knitter and has Bumbling Yarns, is doing a monthly scrappy club, or a bi-monthly? Monthly, I think. And this month's theme is Doctor Who. She's very kindly gifted these to me to do with what I will. But she would like me to show them on the podcast, which is an absolute pleasure. So if you've not had your Doctor Who minis from Laura, look away. Otherwise, they're so lovely. So pretty. I love the colours in here. I mean, obviously, I'm a big Blue fan and I'm a big Doctor Who fan, so absolutely love this. I'm going to try and take some video footage of it laying down, because I'm getting a reflection with the sun that is outside. So that's that one. My next club is the lovely Helen of Giddy Yarns, and this is the Marvellous Monthly Minis Club, and I've got the 100% Superwash Merino DK weight. So if you've not got yours, look away. And she's knocked this out the park. I love this. Right, I'm making a jumper in this, so this is going to be the colours that is up around my neck, and I love blue. So I'm really, really pleased with this. So the idea is to knit these, you can look back now, knit these each month and make a jumper over the course of the year, possibly two. So that's that one. And then last but not least, I have Woolly Goodness, and this is her Colours of 2021 club. So this is 3 minis. So look away if you've not had yours. That's the card. I will let you read the back because that explains a bit about the club. I believe sign-ups are up at the moment. I also believe I've forgotten to sign up, so I need to do that. And this is the lovely stitch marker you get with it. Look at these colours, so pretty. Oh, having fun showing this. Oh, isn't that lovely? I love this combination in the middle here, all the colours together. So yeah, so my happy mail is very much clubs. I'm really sorry that I've had to wait and do it in this lighting rather than my lighting earlier, but in actual fact I don't think this lighting is too bad. I'm going to try and cut down a little bit on clubs, and not on clubs. I'm going to try and cut down a little bit on buying yarn, but I will still buy my clubs. So that's Sherry Iris, Giddy Yarns, Woolly Goodness, Bumbling Yarns for the Stripy Sock Club. Who have I just forgotten? Giddy Yarns. Did I say Giddy Yarns? Giddy Yarns, Bumbling Yarn, Sherry Iris, Kelly, Lay Family Yarn for the Rainbow Chronicles. But if one week I do not have any happy mail, that will be a miracle. But we'll showcase some of these lovely skeins that we've got. Now this one, this section here, you can see, this is my sweaters quantities. So my thoughts are that I would go through and show you some of those and what I want to make with them. But I'm sorry this section got cut out. Oh dear, that was not, it's there, it's on my camera, it's downloaded, it's a 2 GB file, but there is no footage on it, so it's completely corrupted. But luckily it was only this section. So I'm not sure what I talked about that was warranting 2 GB, but anyway, that is my happy mail for this week. So that was it for podcasty bits. The only other thing is what's been going on here. As you've gathered probably, I haven't been very well, and so on the timeline went, I recorded this on Friday. I started feeling unwell Friday afternoon, at which point we found out that Meg had by that point we'd found out that Meg was positive for COVID, and she'd been for a walk with Charlie, my middle one, who lives here. So Charlie had to be isolating, Katie had to be isolating, and I sort of was anyway, just because I don't go anywhere. Saturday we decided that we needed some more KALS units, and we ordered them at IKEA, and the Saturday before we ordered that one, we got a message to say that we could go and pick it up in the late Saturday afternoon. So we were fingers crossed that was going to happen again on Saturday, and eventually it did, but they did kind of like leave it almost last minute for us to get there. And on the way back from that trip, I started to get quite a tight chest and I was struggling to breathe a little bit. At which point I got a bit concerned. And then Sunday morning I woke up with a sore throat and not feeling very well at all. And the thing that really concerned me was that I went to drink a strawberry milkshake and I couldn't taste it. I was like, this is not good. So we ordered a home testing kit. Excuse me a minute. And that arrived on Monday. I have to say the home testing kit service is amazing. That arrived on Monday. I did the test Monday and I got the result Tuesday to say it was negative. I just have a regular old virus. Thankfully. It's not a very nice virus, I have to say. It's pretty revolting. And we've come to the conclusion that the chest pain was actually muscular, and it was due to doing a different exercise that I'm not used to, which is fair enough. And since I've stopped doing that exercise, the pain has stopped too, so I think that's probably a safe assumption. At some point I will restart it and see if it comes back, and if that's the case then we'll know that that's what it was, and I'll just push on through, because the more you do the exercise the less pain you get. I've not been exercising all this week because 90% of the time when I haven't been knitting or working I have been sleeping. It's not as bad now, or at least it wasn't yesterday, but prior to yesterday I could only be awake for about 2 hours before I needed to nap. Now the naps were only like 10-minute cat naps, but they were serious nap attacks. So I've obviously had something revolting, but I'm on the mend now, thankfully. The girls are all much better. Charlie is out of isolation as of today. Kate is out of isolation as of today, and Meg can go back to work on Monday. She's had an easy ride of it. She had a few horrible headaches, but otherwise she's not been too bad at all, bless her. Katie, did I tell you about Katie's saga with her water heating? Yes, I think I did, didn't I? So they've got a cylinder, they got a new cylinder, and then the guy came to fix it, looked in the box and said there's some parts missing. Cue frantic phone calls to manufacturers, etc., who were like, are you sure? Because it's really unusual for parts to be missing. So Kate, in the end, in fury yesterday, got everything out of the box. The parts are not missing. They just weren't where the engineer was expecting them to be. So fingers crossed, over the weekend, they're going to get some water. Heated water. Because the poor kid would really like to have a shower. Bless her heart. Of course, you know, if we weren't isolating a lockdown, etc., she'd be able to come and shower here. But hey, life in lockdown, eh? Stinky. So that happened. So it's been, yeah, it's been a long week, but hopefully I plan a very quiet weekend. I plan on knitting loads. I would like to get those socks done if I can, because that would be great. Not all 3 pairs, just the Rainbow Chronicle socks. The other 2 pairs I'm not so worried about. I'd like to get them done. I'd like to get the Poland packaged up and ordered the postage so that I can attempt to send that off, and then I can start sending the podcast prizes out. But I'm really just going to rest this weekend and rest and recover. All the apps that we've been looking at saying it's snowing on Sunday, so fingers crossed we get the shopping order. It's almost like a repeat of the last 2 weekends, because, you know, both times it was supposed to snow on the Sunday. I need to meal plan today as well, work out what we're going to have for meals for next week. But yeah, otherwise we're all okay. We're just all recovering, I think. It's been a long couple of weeks. Thank heavens for knitting. I think this, if nothing, lockdown has made us very, very appreciative of the fact that we craft and we can keep ourselves amused. I don't know. I guess you have other things to do if you're not a knitter. You know, you've got programs you want to watch or books you want to read. But yeah, I'm very glad. Okay, I'm editing yawns out. That's not good. I'm very glad that I have my craft to fall back on, and my lovely new space, which I'm having great fun arranging. I'm going to get some pictures to go down that bit there. That's my I did that. That's it's 2 lovely girls. They're called Bubbles and Brushes on Instagram. They have an art studio in London, and you go up and the idea is you have a glass of Prosecco and you paint a picture, and they do a step-by-step detail, and that was my whale tale that I did with them. But they've also, on their Instagram account, they've got stories and links to them doing it online. So if you want to do it online and you want to have a go check them out. They're the 2 sweetest girls, and I've been lucky enough to meet them in person. You know, I've done this, I think we've done it twice now, and they are just the sweetest girls. And if you want to paint, and I think we've decided I'm not artistic. I cannot draw, I cannot paint, but that's not bad. I don't mind putting that on the wall, and that's just because that's how they taught us to do it. It was so clever. So yeah, if you've got little ones as well, they've got more simple things to do. Go check them out, because it is worth it. It's good fun. They've got a lovely Instagram account. Not sponsored by them at all. They're just really sweet, and I actually know them in real life, which is nice. Nice to promote people that you appreciate and that you've met, and that you know you kind of feel like you know them. But yeah, they're lovely, really, really sweet people. So go check them out. I will link them below in the show notes. Show notes are below in the video. I'm gonna have to do a whole new pile of show notes this week, because I've got a whole new pile of stuff that I cast on. Where is that? And that's the second yawn. That'll be right. I've been awake for about 2 hours, so now I'm having a nap attack.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Did I say? I didn't even, nothing even vaguely sounded like her name. Siri maybe when I said sorry, but anyway, I am now not only talking to myself via a camera, I'm talking to my electronic device. On that note, I don't think I've got any vlog footage for after this. If I do, it will follow. If I don't, then I'm really sorry. This is the end. I hope you all are all okay wherever you are. Take care, and I'll see you next week.